What the UK-EU temporary visa scheme tells us about this government's approach to Brexit and other things. My name's Mike Cashman. If you like this stuff, please subscribe to the channel, buy the books and the music. So I made a video last week, 7 key questions concerning Brexit. And one of them was concerning the lorry driver shortage and my challenge that the government was not going to do anything to ease the problem by allowing EU drivers in. Just as I was finishing editing the video that I'd made earlier, I saw the rumour that there was going to be some sort of visa scheme to ease the shortage. And I added a PS to the video because I thought, well, maybe I could pull the whole video because I've predicted something and looks like I'm going to be wrong. But I added a PS saying, well, look, I predicted this, so I'm going to put it out anyway, even if I turn out to be wrong. This was, what I said at the time. I hadn't realised how mean and inadequate the scheme would actually be. So Boris Johnson was under pressure to do something, so he's done something. I mean, he's done something quite significant, not in its effect, but in terms of the admission of the problem. If the solution to the problem is to admit EU drivers, then clearly Brexit is the problem. But it's, as it happens, nowhere near enough. But as many people have pointed out, why should they want to come back? And if we look at the scheme, so it's only 5,000 drivers, and it's a temporary visa that expires on December the 24th, on Christmas Eve. And I think this tells us several things. Boris Johnson is clearly focused on the newspaper headlines. This is about Boris saves Christmas. Now, Christmas is a significant event in the UK economy, but challenges will go on beyond then. Nevertheless, he wants to save Christmas. It's maybe just my reaction to it, but this attitude or the measure with its termination on Christmas Eve has, to my mind, a little bit of the patronising English attitude towards the servant classes. You come along and help us and bring us all the stuff for our Christmas and then bugger off back to your own countries. So, anybody who saw this as, oh, okay, well, I've got family or friends in Britain, I could come and do this job and then visit them over Christmas. No, the minute that you've delivered Christmas for us, off you go. It fits into a category which I'll talk about as well, probably in another video, of the UK government thinking that they, if they make something possible for people, then the people will fall into line and do what they want without thinking about it from the point of view of the people concerned. Well, from what we've seen so far, the reaction of HGV drivers in the EU who were very active and busy in the UK until they were made unwelcome in all sorts of ways, we, I think, are about to discover that this is not simply like turning off a tap when the government feels like it and then turning it back on again and expecting them to flow here. We shall see. Who knows? My prediction might be wrong. But I think the other thing about this, and I mentioned it at the start, is by acknowledging that the sort of solution that is needed for this problem is to deal with the mechanism that made it difficult or not possible, depending on the circumstances, for some of these EU drivers to come here. That very obviously acknowledges that Brexit is the problem, which the government were previously not doing. Brexit was the thing that couldn't be mentioned. Any problems that we were having were a result of the pandemic. But now, by reversing, inadequately and rather meanly, but at least partially reversing a Brexit decision, the government have acknowledged that Brexit is the problem. Along with that, they haven't done enough to solve the problem. So it is another double shooting in the foot. But then what can you expect from the government that brought you Brexit?